Yes, Your Honor. The plaintiff will call Nicole McKenzie to the stand.
Thank you.
Mr. McKenzie, may I please have you stand right next to the court reporter? Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly state that the testimony you may give and the cause now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. May I please have you state your first and last name and spell for the record?
Nicole McKenzie, Nichole, McKenzie.
Perfect. Thank you. You may take a seat. Please watch your step.
All right, go ahead, Counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you all for coming back. Good afternoon, Dr. McKenzie. Thank you for coming here today. Are you under subpoena to be here today?
Yes.
And you were served a subpoena from both sides?
Yes.
Do you remember seeing the person on my right, Emani Ellis, in your office, medical office?
Yes.
Do you remember why she came in?
For a workers' comp injury.
And just if you just tell us a little bit about your education and background, please.
What exactly is it you would like to know?
Yes. You're a psychologist, correct?
Yes.
You deal with emotional injuries.
Yes.
What else do you deal with as a psychologist?
Primarily emotional injuries.
Do you ever deal with physical injuries?
No.
If a patient were to tell you about their physical injuries, is that something that you would want to know for the reason of coming up with a diagnosis, or is that just something general that you may or may not want to know?
Objection. Compound.
I'm free to answer?
No.
Oh.
So
Okay.
when the judge will say sustained, then you will not answer.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Approximately how long after? Sorry. Do you remember the date of when you saw Miss Ellis?
Not the exact date. I believe it was 2018 just because of the year listed either on the subpoena. But it's been a while.
Okay, there's a notebook in front of you, the one on your right. If you could open it to Exhibit 4, it will just show you your own medical records to ask you if they are your medical records.
You said 4?
I'm sorry, number 2, I apologize.
Yes.
And if you look at the bottom right corner, in our exhibit book 2-001 through 2-023, all those pages, if you have a moment just to quickly look through and just confirm that those are in fact your medical records, correct? And you can take your time if you need to.
Objection. I think this is to her medical records.
Yes.
He's just asking her to look at the records right now.
Yes.
At the time of the incident, did Miss Ellis advise you she was making $13.50 an hour?
Yes, according to the report.
Okay, is that something relevant? I mean, why would you put that in the report? Does it have to do with the lost wages, or why would that be in the report?
Objection. Compound. By foundation.
Like I said, it's been a while, and so from what I can remember, that information is usually included in all reports for clients who come in for workers' comp injuries.
And at that time, in 2018, you worked for Management, Inc.?
Yes.
And what is Management, Inc.?
It is a psychological corporation that typically provides psychological treatment and evaluations for people who have sustained industrial injuries.
Have you always maintained a license of PsyD, or was it PhD at one point? Did it change, or it's always been the PsyD?
It has always been PsyD.
So you never went into like family, LA MFT, or you don't have any of the other licenses? You went straight for this?
Yes.
Okay. And how long does it take to get this stuff licensed after undergraduate degree?
After undergraduate degree?
Yes.
Roughly 6 years.
So in order to become a psychologist after high school, you spent approximately 10 years, is that fair?
Yes.
And what is the distinction between a PsyD and a PhD? Is there a difference?
The main difference that I can report is PsyDs are more clinically focused on psychological treatment versus PhDs can also provide clinical treatment, but they can also focus more on research.
Okay. And before today, it's probably been several years before you looked at your medical file, correct?
Yes.
And that's because you no longer work at Managed Med, Inc. You opened your own practice or work for a different practice, correct?
I work for a different employer.
And when you work for Managed Med, you were an employee for them?
Yes.
Now, if you look at the first page of your report, date of injury, it says 2/24/18. Do you know if that's accurate?
Objection, Flax Foundation, culture speculation.
Sustained. It's also vague.
I'll represent to you that the date of incident is February 24, 2018. That's the date of the injury. And that's the date it says in your report, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then it says the date of your examination, April 26, 2018. Do you know if that date is accurate?
I believe so.
All right. And then if you go to Exhibit 2-5, the fifth page, there's another report which has a different exam date. Do you see that?
Yes.
And that was August 10th of 2018, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Without going into the expert reasons or the psychological reasons or anything like that, I just want to understand. You asked the patient to come back a second time, correct?
They were asked to come back several times after the first visit.
Okay. And if there was nothing wrong with them, would they come back for a second visit? If you know, do you know?
Flax Foundation, culture speculation.
Sustained.
When you see a patient, not this patient, one time for the first time, and there's nothing wrong with them, would you see them a second time, or you usually say, I'm sorry, there's nothing wrong with you, goodbye?
Objection, compound, Flax Foundation, culture speculation.
You can answer.
I would see them a second time.
And if you go back to the page 1, which is 2-001, in the first paragraph, you go through a job description of what the patient came to see you for. You basically have a job description of what your patient was doing at the time of the incident, correct?
Objection made.
Yes.
Okay. And what was her job title from what you see? What would it be?
Security guard.
And you did a comprehensive psychological evaluation of Emani Ellis, correct?
Objection. Outside the scope of her designation. Wasn't designated.
Yes.
How long did you spend with her on that day, if you know?
For the preliminary evaluation or the psychological evaluation?
The whole thing combined on February 26th of 2018. You may not have an exact time frame, but I want to know that based on your experience for this type of care, how many minutes did you spend with Emani Ellis on that day?
I cannot recall.
Was it more than an hour?
It may have been.
In general, when you see the patients to go over their emotional injuries, how long do you usually spend with them? Is it usually an hour, 30 minutes? I mean, there is a minimum, right?
Right. On the initial visit, typically an hour to an hour and a half.
And then on page 2-002 on that exhibit, towards the bottom, you, in quotes, have some profanities that are in your report. Is there a reason why you would write profanities in your report?
Just to capture the client's report in their own words.
And the patient told you that the celebrity made the profanities?
According to the report, yes.
And the profanities were F you fat ass, sorry to say it, bitch. That's why you do security. That's why I'm going to get you fired. That's why I'm rich and you're poor. That's what you wrote there, correct? In quotes.
Yes.
Do you have a dictation machine where you record them saying these words?
I write it down, and there are times when I did use a dictation machine.
When the patient was telling you this information, did you use that information in your diagnosis and treatment of the patient?
This statement?
Yes.
I can't say that I did.
Why is it important to write down these profanities in your report for a psychologist? Why did you feel it was important to put that in your report? Why?
With regards to workers' comp injuries, we try to document clients' statements using their own words.
Right. Are you aware that in workers' compensation, the applicant is held to the laws of perjury and must be honest and truthful in their reports of injuries? Is that your understanding as a doctor?
Yes.
And at the end of a lot of these reports, you yourself will declare under penalty of perjury that everything is accurate. Isn't that true?
Yes.
Okay. And in fact, if we go to 2-004 at the end of your report, you do in fact write that, and you sign that. Is that your signature there?
Yes.
Okay. And it says, I further declare under penalty of perjury that I have not violated the provisions of California Labor Code Section 139.3, 139.31, operative January 1st of 94, with regard to this evaluation of this patient on the preparation of this report. Why is this paragraph always written in these reports? Do you know?
Just to make a statement that the information we gather is true to our knowledge.
Do you ever, or have you ever treated a patient on a lien basis?
I want to say yes. The majority of clients that come in for workers' comp injuries, I believe they're treated on a lien basis.
Okay. So what that means is you see the patients, you submit a bill, and then you wait to get paid at a later time. Correct?
The corporation would submit a bill and wait to get paid at a later time.
And sometimes they're denied. Correct?
Correct.
Do you know if yours was granted or denied?
I cannot recall.
Now, I really want to understand one thing. As a psychologist, if I came to you and I said, I broke my middle finger, I injured my left shoulder, I broke my knee, I broke my back, I fell on the ground and I hit my head and I got a big bruise on my head and I have psychological issues. Would you really be focusing on the physical, or would you be more focused on the psychological?
I would focus on the psychological injuries that were a result of the physical injuries.
Okay. So it would be nice to know those details, but you probably wouldn't write verbatim, word for word, the physical injuries, correct?
My focus would be the psychological injuries.
So if there were physical injuries here, for example, if there was a scar or a scratch or something physical and it's not perfectly mentioned here, does that mean it didn't occur?
I don't know how to answer that question. Usually, from what I can recall, if it's documented in one of the intake forms, I will address it or mention it, but I can't recall whether it was or was not.
Are you aware that in this case, the defense has designated a Dr. James Rosenberg as a psychiatrist in this case? Are you aware of that?
No.
Okay. Are you aware that Dr. Rosenberg will not be testifying about any physical injury?
Objection, Your Honor.
If the patient that you see does tell you about their physical injuries, and you do want to know about it and put it in your report, or would you then come up with a diagnosis as to the physical injury or not?
No.
You don't treat any physical injuries, correct?
No.
If Emani Ellis came to you that day on February 24th, 2018 with a cut in her face, would you do anything to treat the cut?
No.
What would you tell her? You tell her to leave and go to the hospital or go to a medical doctor, correct?
If a patient comes and they have a physical injury, typically they are referred to a physical doctor to address those injuries.
Aside from the cut to Miss Emani Ellis's face, did Miss Emani Ellis complain about any other physical injury to you?
Objection, argumentative, contrary to the evidence.
I can only report on the physical symptoms that were included in the report, and that states headaches and trouble sleeping.
But how about physical injury to the body, like her face, her neck, her back? Was there anything physical that was really documented by you as a psychologist?
I would have to read through the report, but I cannot recall.
And what is MMPI? What does that mean?
That's a psychological test.
And you did that test for this patient?
She completed the test, and it was interpreted.
And what does it entail to do the MMPI test? What does the patient have to do?
It is a questionnaire. I cannot recall if it's 500 and something odd questions, true and false, that ask about various symptoms.
And you did the test, you had her do the test in your office?
I believe she completed the test, and it was scored by my office and interpreted.
Okay. And you were paid for that test? You billed for that test, correct?
I believe so.
And after that test, on Exhibit 2-017, if you can look at that page, date of exam, November 26, 2018. Do you see that?
Yes.
So after you did the test, you then decided to do a psychological reevaluation, correct?
Yes.
And on page 2 of that report, which is Exhibit 2-018, you have some diagnoses that you've written in your report.
Yes.
And you again declare under penalty of perjury that all of this is accurate, and that's your signature on Exhibit 2-19?
Yes.
And if you look at Exhibit 2-20, your office billed $600 for treatment on that date, April 26, 2018, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know if you were paid for that or not?
I do not.
And then if you look at the following page, Exhibit 2-21, there's some additional dates which I want to go over with you. August 10th of 2018, you billed $300 for treatment, is that correct?
You said August 10th,
August 10th of 2018.
2018. There's several.
Yeah, the first two, 150 and 150, correct?
Yes,
So that's the second time she came to you, correct?
I believe so.
As far as the records say. Yes?
Yes.
And then on May 18th of 2018, again, $150 for individual psychotherapy, correct?
Excuse me, there's actually relevance to all of this, given that
It's okay.
Yes.
In looking at your bill, which would be Exhibit 2-20, 2-21, and 2-22. I count approximately 7 different dates of service that you treated this patient. Is that accurate? Did you see her 7 times?
With our signature.
yes, relevance, yeah. Lack of foundation, but also relevance.
And overall.
Is that true?
I can't say whether I saw her 7 different times.
Okay.
Typically, when clients were seen at the corporation, I would see them initially. They would then be referred to a psychological assistant for treatment. And then I would see them several times after just to sort of check in and do reevaluations on their progress.
Okay, I understand. How about this then? Ms. Emani Ellis, according to this bill, came to Managed Med Inc. on seven different occasions, 7 different dates between April 26, 2018 and January 15th of 2019. Just a number of visits. Do you agree with that, doctor?
According to this bill, yes.
And if my math serves me correct, the combined billing that your office billed Ms. Ellis or Ms. Ellis's work comp was $5,087. Is that correct? If you were to add $600, $3,787. Actually, it's there for you on the last page. 2-23, total lien. You see the total lien?
Yes, $5,087.
All right. And so then, in fact, you did treat her on a lien basis, correct?
Correct.
And then you do that all the time then when you work for Managed Med.
Yes.
It's a routine procedure.
Yes.
Nothing improper to do that, right?
Protection.
It's me.
Okay. Are you familiar with CPT codes?
Billing codes?
Yes.
Not that familiar.
But you have to know them for your practice?
I don't because I don't bill.
Is it reasonable for a psychologist to charge $600 for 2 hours of psychological treatment?
Objections.
Sustained.
It depends.
It's the objection sustained.
And the MMPI exam that Ms. Ellis did, do you know approximately how many hours it took her to complete the 500 questions?
Objection. Nice.
Overruled.
I don't know how long it took her. Typically, it will take the clients several hours to complete them, depending on their reading level.
Okay. You think it would be less than or more than 4 hours?
It might be less than 4 hours.
Okay, and then if I can go to Exhibit 2-13. In the discussion, it says that she was referred for psychological evaluation. Who referred her to you, do you know? Sorry, 2-013 in the right-hand corner. And it's right under discussion in the second paragraph. Oh, sorry, first paragraph, in the middle of the page. Do you see that there?
213, the middle of the page.
Yeah, Miss Emani Ellis was referred for psychological evaluation. Does that mean she's referred to you, or you're referring her to somebody else?
She was referred to the clinic.
Do you know how she was referred to the clinic?
Most clients are referred through their attorney.
Okay, and that's the workers' compensation attorney?
Yes.
Do you know who that attorney would be? It's not me.
According to the report, it's the employee legal advocates.
And then in the next paragraph, it talks about the fact that she was conducting regular patrols at the building, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And that she came into contact with a female music celebrity. Are you familiar? I wasn't asking a question yet. The question is this: are you familiar with the actress or celebrity, musician, rapper, Cardi B?
Yes.
You know her?
Yes.
How do you know her?
Through television.
Do you respect her work?
Objection.
Sustained.
Are you a fan of Cardi B?
Objection.
Sustained.
Do you have any bias to testify in favor of the plaintiff or the defendant in this case?
No.
No? You know, either way, you're just here to tell the truth, correct?
Correct.
And further on, it talks about, well, let me ask you this. Why was it so important to document all of these details? Why are you documenting all of these details about the telephone and her listening to her voicemails? Is there a reason why it was there?
There's no particular reason. Usually it's just to capture the incident in the client's own words. And so we try to obtain as much detail as we can for the attorneys and those involved in the case.
Okay, and isn't it true that in your report you document that Emani Ellis was holding her cell phone, reportedly listening to her voicemails?
Objection. This characterized document.
Sustained. So, counsel, to the extent that there's hearsay statements that are offered for treatment, that's one thing. And this doesn't relate to treatment. So your questions are I'm going to start sustaining the court's own hearsay objections regarding anything that doesn't have to do with medical treatment.
Thank you, Your Honor. The next sentence, I want to ask you if it has to do with treatment. Ms. Ellis reports that the person responded by saying, in quotes, "Don't be telling people you effing see me." Is that something that you use for medical treatment and diagnosis of your patients?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled.
So what page is that?
That's on the same page. It's just the next sentence. Sentence number 4 and 5. on the second paragraph under discussion. You see where it says Miss Ellison reports? Miss Ellis reports.
And what was your question again?
So the question is, when you wrote in quotes, "Don't be telling people you effing see me," did you use that sentence in your diagnosis and treatment of Miss Ellis?
No.
Why did you put that there?
Just capturing the client's incident according to her report.
Okay, and did you put these statements, the other quote and this quote, in your report to measure the extent of the psychological damage?
No.
And then you say after that the individual then proceeded to put her finger in the applicant's face, almost touching her nose. Did you use that sentence for treatment of this patient?
No.
But why are all of these statements in your report?
Again, just capturing the client's report of the incident.
And when you say capturing, did you record it, or is it something that you heard and then later on went and made your report?
Are you asking if I wrote them in my own words, or the information was captured from the other?
I guess time passes. So, for example, if your patient comes in and gives you the history of what happened to them, and you're not recording them, and you're not typing it out right there and then, things could be lost in time. Details. Some of them are, some of them are not. So the question is, are you taking down the history in real live time, like that camera with a 30-minute delay, or is it something where you hear the history, maybe take down some notes, and you come back a month later and write your report?
In real life time, the camera with the 30 minutes.
What's that?
Then in real life time, like the camera.
You do it that way?
Yes.
You had her on video?
Not on video, but either it was used, I used a dictation machine, or I wrote it down myself.
Okay. So if you write it down yourself, do you write down every single word in this report?
Yes, if I'm capturing quotes.
How about when you're not capturing quotes? Meaning some of the sentences in here are in quotes and some are not. So do you agree that the ones in quotes are verbatim what she said? That's fair?
Yes.
And the ones that are not in quotes are not verbatim, correct?
Correct.
And how long after you see the patient do you make the report? How long does it take to generate this report?
Right after they leave the office, or leave my office.
Okay, but isn't it true that sometimes you'll see a patient and maybe a week, a few weeks, a month will go by before you prepare these long 4-page and 10-page reports? Isn't that true? Because they do take a lot of time to prepare, don't they?
Objection, leading argumentative.
Sustained.
Your second report on August 10, 2018, it's 12 pages long. Who prepared this report? You have somebody outside, like a transcriber do it?
Yes.
Okay. And between you and the dictation and the transcriber, isn't it true that sometimes the details could be lost, meaning there could be errors in the report?
Objection.
That's a possibility, correct?
Objection calls for speculation.
Overruled.
It could be a possibility.
And you've had that in your practice. Isn't it true in your practice you've had that where there were mistakes and you had to correct them? For example, you make an amended report. Isn't that true? Sometimes you have to do that?
After the report is transcribed,
Yes.
it is reviewed for corrections.
And have you ever done an amended report?
Yes.
If the details of the injury, for example, as I explained you the story about me breaking my finger and my left shoulder and my left knee and my back, if that is not perfect, would you catch that to correct the report, or is that something that's really physical that even if there's a mistake with that piece, you're not going to go back and correct it because your sole goal is to treat her for psychological treatment, correct?
Yeah. Objection, argument, lack of foundation.
Sustained.
Have you ever gone back and corrected a report when there was an error about physical injury? Do you ever remember doing that?
Cannot recall.
But you've done it for psychological injuries, correct?
Objection, weakness.
Overruled.
I've done it for all that's included in the report, whether that's emotional symptoms, physical symptoms, or the general testing results.
Sorry, the next one?
Or the testing results.
Can you repeat that, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
And just so we're clear, Ms. Emani Ellis came to you for psychological injuries
Yes.
only.
Objection is characterized as the evidence and also lacks foundation.
Overruled.
Hearsay.
Yes.
And that does not include physical injury, correct?
She was seen for psychological injury.
So if she also broke her teeth, would that be important for your psychological treatment of the patient?
Not for the treatment.
So when someone has a physical injury, do you refer them out to a medical doctor if they don't have one?
If they don't have one, we refer them back to their attorney.
So the attorney is the one that refers them out.
Correct.
Are you aware that Ms. Ellis saw a plastic surgeon, Dr. Scher, in 2018,
Objection, lacks
somewhere around the time when she saw you?
Sustained.
Did you review any medical records from a Dr. John Scher in this case?
I cannot recall.
Did you review any medical records from Dr. Avila for any psychological treatment in this case?
Objection.
Why don't you just ask her what record she did review?
What records did you review? Do you remember?
I do not.
And you don't have your medical file with you because you no longer work for that company, correct?
Correct.
And you have no way to get those medical records, correct?
Correct.
Why didn't you reach out to Managed Med Inc. to get your medical records for this patient when you knew you had to testify here?
Objection, lacks foundation.
Is there a reason why you never got the medical records from Managed Med Inc.?
Objection is
Sustained. I don't think that's an issue in this trial, counsel.
All right, I just want to ask you what you did review, because I have the records. If you can look in your exhibit book, 1-004. You have that?
I do.
Have you ever seen that document before?
No.
Your Honor. Objection.
You're going to go through all the medical records? She
There's
doesn't
only a few. There's only 3, Your Honor. Just 3.
Ma'am, do you remember reviewing any medical records?
I do not.
Okay, she doesn't remember reviewing any medical records.
Your Honor, I was going to see if I could refresh your recollection with you. One more, if I may.
Your Honor, we object. This is a table that counsel prepared. It's not an exhibit.
I'll withdraw this question. I'll go to the next one, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. If you could go to Exhibit 3. Did you review any medical... Sorry, I withdraw that. Did you review any psychological records from Premier Forensic Psychology from Dr. Alex Avila?
Objection, Your Honor. Motion eliminated. And the ruling on the motion eliminated. Relevant lack of foundation.
Sustained.
Did you review any records from... Well, strike that. Let's have you go to Exhibit 4. Do you see that?
Yes.
Did you review any of these records from plastic surgeon Brett Mulliken?
Objection, Your Honor. Lacks foundation.
Overruled.
I do not recall.
Okay. And if you look at the HPI, which is the history,
We're not going to read from a document.
I will not read from the document. I just wanted the doctor to read the paragraph. If you read those 4 lines, does that help you refresh your recollection about anything Emani Ellis told you when she saw you in 2018 and 2019?
For the history of the incident?
Yeah, don't read from the document. Just read it to yourself. And if you just answer my question, in reading these 4 lines, does that help refresh your recollection about anything Emani Ellis told you when you did treat her in 2018 and 2019?
Yes.
And why does it refresh your recollection? Without reading from the document, what did it do for you now, here, right now?
Well, it lists the date of injury, which was in the previous report I reviewed.
Okay. Anything else?
And just one of the details.
Okay. Without reading from the report, what detail?
I think I recall something about fingernails.
Okay. And what about fingernails?
It's the same.
Okay. And then finally, I just ask you this question. I just want to know about the billing. Do you have any way to know if the bill of $5,087 was ever paid by anyone?
I do not.
Okay, no further questions. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Cross.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Doctor.
Afternoon.
Okay, so I'm going to try to not overlap with counsel's questions, but I do have questions about some of the exhibits that he showed you. And first of all, just to be clear, you saw the plaintiff in April of 2018 because she had made a workers' compensation claim, correct?
Objection, misstates the testimony of the witness.
Overruled.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to ask, I'm going to make it easier, I'm going to use our exhibits. And I should also say, counsel was right, we subpoenaed you too. We appreciate you showing up. The court has authorized us to ask our questions of you so that you don't have to come back a second day. Thank the court. I agreed though, but thank the court. So I'll take it too. So I have some of the same documents, but with the different exhibit numbers, and we can display them. And the first one is, I would ask counsel, we're going to use exhibit 206, which is the equivalent to one of the portion of the exhibit you were showing her. Is there a way to make that a little bit more visible to people?
Your Honor, I would object to showing the document because she doesn't have her medical file, and it's a hearsay document that was prepared by Management Inc., and I was not provided the opportunity to show it to her.
I don't remember you asking, but do you object to it being published?
Yes.
Based on hearsay ground?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's the same.
I'm sorry, based on,
Hearsay ground?
it's the, what I'm
Can you
looking,
take it off the almost service? That's not allowed.
what I'm going to focus on.
Why don't you take the document down for now?
He's doing that now. What I'm going to focus on are her recording of plaintiff's own statements, which are, of course, plaintiff party admissions.
Your Honor, I wasn't.
He's already questioned her on the same document.
So, we're not going to argue it back and forth. You can ask her questions if you want to put the document in front of her and ask her questions about it. That's fine, but we're not going to publish it at this point in time.
Okay. If you could look in the blue book for Exhibit 206, it should be tabbed and probably towards the end. found it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Do you recognize this as the same document counsel was showing you?
Yes.
And it is also the preliminary psychological evaluation done on April 26, 2018?
Yes.
And let's look a little bit closer at the second page that he asked you questions about. Could you read out loud the bold caption on that page?
History of the incident as reported by the patient.
And so everything that is recorded there is what the plaintiff told you in April of 2018, correct?
Correct.
And let's look a little bit closer at the verification at the end. So if we go to page, the fourth page, and there's a caption disclosure statement, correct?
Yes.
And can you read out loud the last sentence of the first paragraph?
As to that information, that sentence?
Yes, thank you.
As to that information, I declare under penalty or perjury that the information accurately describes the information provided to me, and accept as noted herein that I believe it to be true.
And is it correct that what you verified under perjury was that you had correctly recorded what the plaintiff told you?
Correct.
Okay. Did you at any point, anywhere in this document, in this verification page or otherwise, verify that what she was telling you was true?
No.
Okay. Now, if we go back to the second page, the first paragraph, after history of the incident as reported by the patient, could you read the first three words?
Your Honor, I would object because she's not an expert and also hearsay.
I'm not sure. It's first three words of what?
Of Exhibit 206, where she confirms that she is, the statements that counsel read are the statements of the... Thank you.
The applicant reports.
Right. And third paragraph, the first three words.
Ms. Ellis reports.
And could you read the last sentence of that? After Ms. Ellis reports?
Yeah, objection. He's only picking and choosing words that he likes. You should read the whole thing as a whole.
That's please open the speaking objections.
I apologize, Your Honor. Objection for completeness.
It's overruled, then.
Which paragraph again?
Yeah, the paragraph that begins, Ms. Ellis reports. I'm only asking you to read the last sentence, full sentence, complete. Don't leave anything out.
Her nails were really long, almost touching the applicant's nose.
Right. Is there... let's go to the second...
Your Honor, for purposes of completeness, I would ask...
You can do it, address it on redirect.
Let's go to the third page. Can you read the first full heading in bold on the third page?
Associated physical symptoms.
Right. Is there any mention... Well, first of all, is this a portion of the report where you record any physical symptoms that plaintiff reported?
Yes.
And even though this is a psychological report, you, in fact, as a matter of practice and in this document, documented any, would have mentioned any physical symptoms that she had, correct?
Objection calls for expert opinion.
Overruled.
Correct.
Anywhere in that... Well, actually, could you read for the jury, please, the complete associated physical symptoms that plaintiff reported to you 2 months after the alleged incident?
Objection. I would ask that counsel can read and not the witness.
Overruled.
Ms. Ellis reports that she experiences headaches at least 4 to 5 times a week that last several hours. She is also sleeping more than she used to.
That's it. No mention of a scar?
Not in this statement.
No mention of any physical injury?
Not in this report.
And you took down this information that's in this report as plaintiff provided it to you, as you put it, at the time that she said it, correct?
Correct.
And you verified at the end, under penalty of perjury, that you had correctly recorded what she said, correct?
Correct.
If you look at the page 2 of this exhibit, 206, and let's go to the fourth paragraph. Do you see the language, it turned into a screaming match?
Same objection, Your Honor. He's
Overruled.
Correct.
And that's in quotes, isn't it?
Yes.
And that is what the plaintiff told you, right? She didn't mention any physical symptoms. She just said it turned into a screaming match. Is that correct?
According to the report.
Do you have any reason to doubt that the report is correct or inaccurate?
No.
And in fact, you verified at the time under penalty of perjury that it was correct.
According to what the applicant reported.
Right. And I apologize. Yes, that's an important distinction. That it correctly recorded what plaintiff said. Right?
Correct.
You were not verifying that she was telling the truth, were you?
No, we typically do not verify unless provided with other reports.
Okay, if I could ask you to go to Exhibit 207, which is the other document that counsel showed you. Do you see it?
Yes.
And do you recognize it? And feel free to thumb through it if you like, as the other portion of his exhibit that he showed you.
Correct.
And that is a initial comprehensive psychological evaluation with associated psychodiagnostic testing. Is that what the label is?
Yes.
And that examination was done on August 10th of 2018.
Yes.
So what, 4 or 5 months later?
Correct.
And if you look at the second page, it's got another history of the incident as reported in preliminary evaluations. You see that?
Correct.
That's the heading?
Yes.
And that's as reported by plaintiff in August of 2018?
Not on August of 2018. It's usually the information that was captured in the preliminary.
Okay, got it. And that also, in the third paragraph, states that Ms. Ellis reports that the celebrity's nails were really long, almost touching the applicant's nose. You see that?
Yes.
And then on the next page, associated physical symptoms, it still doesn't mention a scar or any physical symptoms, correct?
Correct. It's the same information from the previous report.
And you also, at page 12, verified under penalty of perjury that you had accurately set out what plaintiff told you, right?
Correct.
Okay, let's bear with me for just a second. You actually met with the plaintiff in 2018, correct?
Correct.
And you remember your deposition was taken in this action? You were deposed, you asked questions. I can give you the date if you like.
I was deposed. I just cannot recall the date.
Yeah, I don't either. It's here somewhere. But you did have your deposition taken, right?
Yes.
And you testified at your deposition that if you had seen any scars or bruising on the plaintiff's face when you met her, you would have noted it, correct?
If that's what I stated.
That's what you said. Would you like to see your testimony?
Yes.
You would like to see it?
Yes.
Could we...
Your Honor, I would object to it because it's not here to...
What's your legal objection?
The purpose of using it is not to impeach the witness. It's simply to reinforce what she's already said. She's already agreed to it.
I'm sorry?
Listen.
May I say one quick thing? This is our case in chief.
Why don't you just ask her the same question now?
Okay, fine. Doctor, if Ms. Ellis had shown up for her examination and had a scar or scars or bruising on her face, would you have noted it in your report?
Objection calls for speculation.
Overruled.
If it was indicated on one of the intake forms.
I'm sorry?
If it was indicated on one of the intake forms.
If you saw her with bruises and a scar on her face, would you note it in the report?
Objection calls for speculation.
Overruled.
I believe I would on the mental status.
Okay, thank you. Bear with me for a second. If we can turn please to Exhibit 222. What is Exhibit 222?
This is a Beck Depression Inventory.
I'm sorry.
A Beck Depression Inventory. It's
Okay.
a psychological test for emotional symptoms.
Right. And is this a form that is provided to the workers' compensation applicant for the applicant to circle the symptoms they claim?
Yes.
And is this the form that plaintiff filled out on April 26, 2018?
It looks so, yes.
Okay. And you identified it at your deposition as the form that she filled out, right?
Correct. I think.
And could you read at the end of the first column, 5, question 3, what did she circle there?
5, the guilty feelings.
3, line 3, the very last line. On the first page. So if you look under guilty feelings,
Correct.
and what did she circle?
I feel guilty all the time.
And if you can turn to Exhibit 225. Is this the same type of form?
Correct.
And is this the form that she filled out on January 15, 2019?
Correct.
And what did she circle about guilty feelings at that point?
I feel guilty over many things I have done or should have done.
Sorry, where was that?
I'm sorry?
Where are you reading? I couldn't find it.
Under guilty feelings, if I may, Your Honor.
What?
I don't know what exhibit you're on.
225. Okay. Bear with you just a second. I want to make sure. Okay, thank you very much. I think that's all the questions I have for you.
All right, redirect.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you very much.
Isn't it true that Emani Ellis came to see you for psychological injuries only?
Correct.
Black Foundation, Foster.
Overruled.
You can answer.
Correct.
Did Miss Emani Ellis come to you for physical injuries?
She did not.
Did Miss Emani Ellis come to you for plastic surgery?
She did not.
Are you a plastic surgeon?
I am not.
Any reason for you to note that there was a scar there or was not there when you saw her in April of 2018?
I'm not sure how to answer that. Any reason for me to note it?
Yeah.
No particular reason.
And the question that counsel asked you about guilty, this exhibit 222, guilty feelings. I feel guilty all the time. Does that mean that she's guilty of something?
Objection. Black Foundation.
Sustained.
And then in 225, I feel guilty over many things I have done or should have done. What does that mean?
Objection. Hearsay. Black Foundation.
Sustained.
What is the purpose of guilty feelings? What is this all about? Why do you have this in here?
The overall measurement is to capture symptoms related to depression. And so it asks about different symptoms that would meet the criteria for depression, like sadness, loss of pleasure, guilty feelings.
Can someone have psychological problems and have guilty feelings at the same time?
Objection, expert testimony.
Sustained.
Isn't it true that no matter which one of the four were circled, it wouldn't have mattered for the diagnosis of this patient, correct?
Objection.
Sustained. We're going to stay with some expert testimony.
When you have number 5 here, guilty feelings, does that mean they're guilty of a crime or something? What does guilty feelings mean?
Objection.
Sustained.
Can you explain us what guilty is? when
Counsel, you need to move on.
One question about this guilty issue. When you have this here that says guilty feelings, does it mean that Emani Ellis is guilty of the incident, or is it guilty feelings about psychological issues?
Objection. And
Sustained.
Isn't it true that if a patient is coming to you for psychological injuries, they're not going to tell you about all of their physical injuries? For example, if she has a dental complaint, she's not going to tell you about her dental complaint, even if it's related to the incident.
objection.
That's possible, correct?
Calls for speculation, lack of foundation, outside.
Overruled.
You can answer.
When the patients were referred for psychological treatment, they filled out a claim form. If the attorney on that claim form only put that we were to focus on the site, then that's what we focused on.
So it was the attorney, it was her attorney who decided what was going to be on the claim form. Is that your testimony?
I believe so.
And if the attorney put in physical complaints, do you think that an attorney would send that to you, or would an attorney send it to a medical doctor?
Objection.
If you know, if you.
Calls for speculation, lacks foundation.
Sustained.
Okay, and then I want to go back to what counsel was talking about in the report where you read from. Exhibit 206. Do you remember that one? Exhibit 206, page 2 of 4. You see that, Doctor?
Yes.
So counsel asked you about paragraph 3, and he read you the last sentence, or you read it. Her nails were really long, almost touching the applicant's nose. Do you remember when he asked you about that sentence?
Yes.
Okay. The sentence before it, I want to focus on that for completeness. It states, individual then proceeded to put her finger in applicant's face. You see that?
Yes.
Does that mean there was contact, or are you not sure?
Objection.
Do you know, I'll withdraw the question, do you know if that sentence, the one I just read you, has any connection with physical contact,
Objection.
or you don't know?
Objection.
Overruled.
Do I know if the sentence you asked me to read has any indication of physical contact?
Yes.
Not that sentence.
Is there other sentences that do, that you can remember right now,
No.
from all these 23 pages?
No.
Okay. And you didn't read all the 23 pages, did you?
I did not.
And you, as you sat there for the last hour, hour and a half, it would be impossible to do that. You'd want to spend at least an hour to review all pages, correct?
Your Honor, objection.
Sustained.
Is spitting on someone considered an assault and battery for your treatment of the
Sustained.
patient?
Move on, counsel.
And in the next sentence, it says, Miss Ellis states that she tried to explain that she was not speaking to anyone regarding seeing the celebrity, yet the individual then spat on her. Is there a reason why you wrote this in your report?
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Just capturing the incident as reported.
And when the patient told you that she was spit on, did you believe her?
Objection.
Sustained.
Would you agree that spitting on a person is considered physical contact?
Objection.
Sustained.
And then if we can go to the 7th paragraph. Once in the lobby area, the celebrity's security guard approached. The applicant explained the situation and the security guard reportedly apologized. Do you know why the security guard of the defendant apologized to Miss Emani Ellis?
Objection. Argumentative.
Sustained. Counsel, let's focus on what she knows.
Did Emani Ellis tell you, after me reading that sentence to you and you reading it for yourself, did Emani Ellis tell you that the security guard for the defendant apologized?
According to the report, yes.
Yes? Do you know what she apologized? I'm sorry. Do you know why he apologized?
Objection. Cultural speculation. Lacks foundation. Argumentative.
Sustained.
No further questions. Thank you.
All right, recross.
Yes, Your Honor. Briefly. Your Honor,
I'm going to take.
What's that? New pen for juror number 5, please. We're going to have to rewrite the budget for pens and paper.
may I proceed?
Please.
Dr. Counsel had referring to if he had shown up with a broken finger, broken back, broken other body parts. Let me ask you, if plaintiff had shown up with physical injuries?
Objection, Your Honor. This exceeds the scope of my...
Overruled.
If plaintiff had shown up with scarring and bruises or broken back, even if she came for a psychological evaluation, would you have noted it?
If she reported it, yes.
Okay. And everything in the report, all the factual assertions, for example, at page 2 of those 2 exhibits, those are what plaintiff told you, and you do not know whether, in fact, she was telling the truth, correct?
Objection calls for speculation.
Overruled.
I did not receive any depositions or other supporting documents to counter what she was reporting.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I should separate that. First of all, everything that we've been talking about on page 2, that's just what plaintiff told you, right?
Correct.
And you don't know if that's true, right? You don't know if what she told you is true.
Right, I don't know.
Okay.
I wasn't
That's
there.
all the questions I had.
All right.
Thank you.
Any questions from the jury? All right, Doctor, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. They're a little bit overlapping, but I'll go ahead and ask them. If a physical injury is not reported to you, is there any reason you would still take a note of it?
Do I just answer yes or no, or
You can
explain?
explain.
From what I recall, when individuals were referred for treatment, they were asked to fill out paperwork. On that paperwork, they were asked to document if they had physical injuries or physical pain symptoms. In those situations, I would review it and include those in the report.
So the court's going to ask us some follow-up. So when the patient is coming in, they provide their responses to questions relating to their history and physical, correct?
Correct.
And so they would note any physical symptoms, whether or not they related to the reason for their visit.
Correct.
All right. And that's all part of the form?
Correct.
Was it your practice that if the psychological trauma was caused by a physical injury, that you would note that on your chart?
Yes.
Do you recall actually seeing any marks on plaintiff's nose or cheek?
I do not recall.
All right. Any follow-ups from counsel regarding those questions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
You earlier testified about the attorney filling out this form, and it's the attorney who actually puts on what the patient is coming to see you for, correct?
Objection is made ambiguous as to what form.
The form we just spoke about.
Overall.
Correct. Do you have the form?
I do not.
Where is the form?
With the Psychological Corporation.
Right. So we really don't know what the form says at all, correct?
I do not.
So when the court asked you this question, you're not sure what relates to this case as a general response to the form as to any of the patients, correct?
Like I said, I cannot recall.
And the question about, go straight back. Just want to ask you, the form that you're talking about that's filled out by the attorney, do you,
The claim form is filled out by the
the
attorney.
claim form, this form that is at issue now, would an attorney ever put physical injury so that you would then treat the patient for physical injury, or every time you get the form, it's really psychological?
Objection.
I withdraw the question. I have no further questions.
All right. Anyone from the defense?
Yes, Your Honor, just one. One of the questions, I believe you answered, that if a claimant comes in and a report of physical injury, that's included in whatever documents that the company generates. And you noted in your psychological report, is that correct?
Yes.
And so can we conclude from the fact that there is no reference to scars or other physical injury in your preliminary report that when plaintiff first claimed, plaintiff or her counsel at the time, first made a workers' compensation claim, they did not report any physical injury?
Objection calls for speculation.
Overall.
I cannot recall.
Well, it's a matter of practice.
Well,
Objection
matter of
has to
practice.
If they had claimed a physical injury, that would have been reported to you, and you would have included it in your preliminary report, correct?
Objection calls for speculation.
Overall.
Did we get the answer?
No.
I would have noted it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very
Your Honor,
much.
there's one follow-up I forgot to ask about the
Briefly.
Yeah, briefly. Thank you very much, Your Honor. There was a question the court asked you. If Emani Ellis came in 2 months after, so you saw her 2 months after, and you saw a 2-centimeter scar on her face, well, how do you know today if you really saw it or you didn't see it? Isn't it true that you don't know? It might have been there and it might have not been there. Is that fair?
Objection, argumentative, up to speculation.
Listen.
No further questions.
All right, can this witness be released?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, folks, why don't we take a break until 3:15? As usual, do not discuss the case with anyone, including other jurors. Don't form any opinions or do any research. We'll see you at 3:15.